Hey, I'm Dave King. We're the CollabCast, and we're here with Sakura and NoxTros, who are going to be part of our show tonight at Superior Merchandise in Troy with The Age. And you guys came in to talk a little bit about the music scene and maybe a little bit about what you're playing tonight, although it sounds
Most
like...
definitely. Most definitely.
Very cool. So what... You've known The Age. Age is someone who sort of advocated to have you on this bill and was saying you're...
It's very kind of him.
Yeah, well, but he's someone you've known, you've worked with. So I'm wondering, how did you first meet? And it sounds like there's this larger community that you're a part of. So tell me a little about it.
For sure. Age and I met in high school. Mm-hmm. I was a junior. I think he was as well. And we all, NoxTros as well, we all grew up playing in church. Our roots being worship music and
7 years strong.
7 years strong.
Mm-hmm.
Really? That was good math.
Algebra is a strong suit.
There you go.
Thanks.
So yeah, we grew up all playing in church initially, and I think back when you're younger, we're all just trying to develop our songwriting skill and musicianship and all that. And when you're playing in church, it's just this sort of broad collection of musicians who have this intention of just, peace and bringing people together. And so I think that was just a really helpful way to start playing music. So I think speaking to Age, that's still super reflective in his live performance and his music now. And just the way he just tries to bring people together, and it's obviously shown locally. But Age and I have just played in a number of bands together over the years. He's played in projects that I've had. And so it's definitely a cool point to be at now, fast forward that we're in our 20s. That we're all kind of just solidifying projects or solidifying the intentions that we have as artists, and we can all just bridge gaps and help each other out. And so I think that's why he put me on the show, because he wants to also help me out. I don't have any music out yet, and I'm just I'm at the very beginning stage of launching a project.
Well, it's interesting because The Age has been very intentional, it seems, with the music he releases as well. And do you think some of that has to do with the fact that you grew up in this playing music live? You've seen other people go before you so much. Is it about just being very particular with the music you put out there, or why haven't you recorded yet? And what are you sort of hoping to?
Well,
what are the right circumstances?
Sure. Age is, if you know Age, he's probably the most intentional person you'll ever meet when it comes to his style, his songwriting, the way he projects his artistic vision. And so even for Age, I think it took a really long time for him to realize, and I can't speak exactly to Age, but right. I think it took a long time for him to just be like, this is perfect, this is what I want to put out. For me, and NoxTros can probably say the same thing, like we've been working on tracks for 3 years probably with Sakura, and just trying to find, for me, I never wanted Sakura to be about me. I wanted to just be about the people who I love and the people who I want on a team.
And the people you will affect, inspire, and connect with via...
For sure. And so I never wanted Sakura to just be about a project or about music. I wanted it to be this... I want people continuously to just feel a part of the music I'm writing. And I think people will like Sakura if they see a part of themselves in the music, because I think that's how I feel about it. The songs that I want to put out are the songs that I feel this connection to, because it's I think music, even the music I put out, always is taking on different form, and I see myself differently in that music sometimes, and I just want people to feel connected to that as well, feel connected to a moment, feel connected to other people who are a part of this. So like, speaking to why I haven't put music out yet, I just haven't been happy with anything. I haven't felt like that vision for what Sakura is and what I've wanted, what we've wanted, has been there yet. And now for the first time, I really do feel that way. And so tonight I'll be playing 4 songs that I just feel really, really connected to. And I just want the show tonight to just to be about the people who are there and the people who are showing up and just loving on each other, because I think that's what Sakura is about for me.
Have you been to the space yet?
Superior, yeah. Once or twice.
Right, and it has that sort of Zen atmosphere. It has a very communal feel, and there's no internet, which is
Perfect.
sometimes awesome and sometimes a little sad if you want to go work there. But still,
Yeah, in a coffee shop sort of set. Yeah, no
but
Wi-Fi.
But for the show, we had this great vibe the last time, which felt very communal and interactive with Jordan Taylor Hill and Amani, and it feels like this is going to be sort of similar in that folks are going to feel something different, and they'll be out there in the patio as long as it doesn't rain, which it doesn't seem like it's going to do. But
No.
It's supposed to be impeccable this whole weekend. So.
oof,
Well, to what you're saying, like people coming out, I think I have to attribute so much of that to Nox, because he's a producer and an engineer and really just a creative here locally who works with a lot of people. He's been a huge part of me realizing my vision. And so a lot of the people who are coming out tonight and just want to support, and they're just a part of what we've been doing. And I have to say that's probably because of you, because you've been just working your tail off trying to
so
bridge gaps.
Well, on that, so how do you approach that? How did you get into sort of working on music and as a producer rather than sort of in front of the microphone?
Okay. Excellent question. I hope I have an excellent answer. So my roots, I started with the acoustic guitar. Broke my ankle skateboarding when I was 13. Found an acoustic guitar in my mom's attic. So the rest was history. I said goodbye to skating. Still love it. Not relevant. But so I started with the guitar. I did a lot of my roots, again, are blues, jazz, rock and roll, singer-songwriter, folk. And I've been returning to those as my own individual artist. But I had quite a long run of physical health complications, and I physically lost my ability to speak for 4 years. So
Wow.
I was in Los Angeles for 3.5 of those 4 years. So I had to walk around with a loose leaf notepad of paper and talk to everybody. I had to accommodate. I had to get a new job where I didn't have to speak. So it was an experience, I'm definitely anything but complaining about it. I'm super grateful, because otherwise, exactly where we are right now in this moment, wouldn't be here. So because when I lost my voice, it was super cathartic, even just listening to music. I was like, this is what I firmly believe I have been designed as a human to do. This is my conduit to help the human race in whatever way I can. If that's one person, if that's 1 million people, phenomenal. So I still wanted to be involved in some fashion, so I got into production. I taught myself production, always, and I have to attest as well. I say with pride, like, you got to carry that attitude and behavior of being reachable and teachable. It's like I tell a lot of my friends, like, I don't care how dumb you think anybody is. Somebody always knows something you don't know. Always. No matter where they're at, no matter where you're at. So, so I carried that, and I continue to. I always will. I never hesitated to ask questions to people. I'm like, hey, like that person knows something that I want to know. So I'm going to ask him. So that's what I will attribute a lot of my skill set to, the acquisition of the skills I now possess and continue to develop. And then YouTube, of course, Google. That's been a infinite resource. Thanks, YouTube. So then I just predominantly self-educated and taught myself the mixing. My ultimate goal was to become self-sufficient. I think that's a very powerful thing. It's very liberating. You can create as much art as you want, release it whenever you want, or not release it at all. So that's been a very good thing. And then when I returned from Los Angeles about 4 years ago now, I was still struggling a bit with health, and I said, hey, I want to integrate myself within whatever's going on in this area. Being out there, away from home, distance definitely made the heart grow fonder for the region, and I was put into perspective. I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be, and it's kind of ironic that I was born here. So I had to go out west to figure it out, there's
a lot of that going around.
Yeah. It's been a continuous, constant, incessant upward trajectory, like just meeting new great people. Obviously, there's a commonplace, which is art. And so there's always an immediate connection and an immediate intrinsic bond between relationships. Yeah, it's been really wonderful, and
It's been a good year.
Yeah, it's only the
It's
beginning.
been a really happy year.
So we talked a little bit about before that you know the guys in Contraband and worked with them a little bit, but obviously there's some things happening and in the region, and
Oh,
it
for
seems
sure.
like things are changing a little bit, maybe attitudes and
Yes.
the way people treat each other and work together. So who have you been working with, and who do you feel connected with in the
Well, I
area?
have to shout him out first. Is Mac Moon from Contraband is a really good friend of ours.
Mac.
He's actually
Mac's the man.
performing with Sakura tonight
Very
at
cool.
Superior Merchandise, which we're really excited about. Again, as we were kind of talking about before the interview a lot, a huge vision for me, and I know it's the same for you, NoxTros, but for me, like personally, all I care about is playing live and songwriting, but really just bringing a vision to the stage and creating a moment and communicating with other musicians. I just find that so beautiful. And so Mac, who's a hip hop legend, is definitely in a different performance scope. I'd say maybe that's sort of to what you're asking about, who have we been working with, what we've been doing. I think my vision is just to bridge this gap between electronic music and live band performance, if you could say live instrumentals, and just trying to be as creative as possible and integrate the two together. And so the fact that, for instance, that Mac's playing with Sakura tonight is both an honor and just like, I think that vision starting to come alive for me.
So yeah, describe Sakura. Sorry.
Sure.
What musical touchstones are there? I mean,
Sure.
obviously the age is sort of neo soul, which does combine live instrumentation and more of a
Yes.
hip hop vibe. But was that along those
Kind
lines,
of.
or
Definitely my roots with songwriting are in pop music.
Yeah.
For sure. But my roots within my soul are within worship music. And so I think sort of the ethereal tones and just these huge stadium feeling sounds and moments I think that you get in worship music. Have you ever been to like a church, like a big church, that just has these big pads and just lovely sounding guitars, and what it's doing is creating this moment for people. Some people are really spiritual and feeling the spiritual connection to that music, and other people, I think it's just hope. And I think that's always been, I can't help it. That's sort of like where just my heart lies with music. Like I just want to create this moment for people wherever they're at. I want to meet people where they are. And so with Sakura, I think that's what it is. Tonight, we're really simplified. It's just a trio. It's just bass, drums, and keys tonight.
Tambourine.
And tambourine, obviously, if Nox is lit enough. But yeah, so tonight, again, I think this is just our first opportunity to create a moment for people. So I guess that's the best way I can describe my music is it's worship music, but I want to create this moment of hope and happiness, and maybe even a bit of sadness for people sometimes.
well, so I mean, everything you do is so intentional, but there is all this stuff that's up in the air.
Oh, for sure.
But if you had your way, given everything goes right, what happens after tonight? Where are the steps that get your music where you want to be in the next few?
I think I just really want to just be super intentional about playing shows. I think a lot of people like to talk about their past and be like, oh, well, here's what we've done and here's what we have to keep climbing to do to make it better and better and bigger and bigger. And I just, in 2017, 2018 were tough years, I think, for everyone.
Amen.
Yeah, I can speak for us. Like, we were just figuring out everything. We almost didn't have time for music, just, working jobs and trying to figure out how to live, I guess. And now I think we're just at a bit more of a fruitful point. And to me, that's just gratitude. Where do we go from here? I think I just am trying to hit the reset button in 2019 and not think about the past and jamming into 15-passenger vans and stuff, and be like, okay, so what's what are we feasibly going to do this year? And for me, it's about, right now we have 4 songs we're playing tonight, and those 4 songs I am absolutely in love with personally. And that's as far as my vision goes right now because I'm just so excited to rip a gig.
We've got a love triangle then because I'm in love with him too.
I think that's the thing. The more songs I write and the more people I meet, the more I'm inspired by other people's visions. And I have my foundation for, like I've just told you about creating these moments for people. And so I think that's where I fall in love with the music over and over and over again, because playing music live can get super redundant.
Mm-hmm.
We all know this. And so my goal is to just never feel that way about playing music. Wherever it takes me, I just want to feel like I'm falling in love with the music and the people who are a part of that just over and over again. So I guess to answer your question, where do I see this going? I see us playing some really great shows this year and continuing to just write music that I love and I hope people resonate with and that they see parts of themselves in.
And NoxTros, is there a way for folks to sort of get a sense of your work and other folks you've worked with in the past?
You just put a song out, so that's cool.
I did, yeah. Actually, we'll keep the camera off of him because it's not a good look. Glay Suzuka over here from North Carolina. He and a couple friends, Matt is here as well, are visiting from Raleigh. I decided to step more into the forefront of things from my own artistry. I had a song that has been completed for almost 2 years now. Dropped it about a month ago, 2 months maybe. And Glace, I sent him a schematic version of it, a skeleton, and then he took it and worked some astounding wizardry on it, production-wise, mixing. And he's probably 75% responsible for what the record is. And it's more so on my very top 40 contemporary, highly produced pop sound, which I love. I love pop. I'm not even infatuated. I have a lifelong, lasting love for pop.
Well, because it's not, yes, but I have to interrupt you to say that it's less about pop music for you, and you're so much more about sound design.
Yes. So and
you're a perfectionist too, just like age.
Yeah.
But
My
in different
clinically
way,
diagnosed OCD goes a long way with this stuff. So I'm happy about that. I use that to my advantage, trust me. But yeah, so without digressing too much, sticking on your question, number one, I love language. I'm very oriented with that side of my brain. That just runs in my family. And then I'm super scientific. I love physics. I like knowing how things work. That's just addictive to me. I just like learning stuff. It's very addicting. So I am very passionate about the actual formation and creation of sound on a physical level, involving, taking a single frequency or a few frequencies, and you can turn that into something symphonic and orchestral just through creativity, imagination. So if you're ever planning to run a 48-hour interview, we can talk more about that. but yeah, so every single, for me, every single production, I equate it to like a blank canvas with an artist with a palette. Even if you need to mix colors to get every single specific color exactly how you want it, you want every individual element to be perfect first, and then once you combine those, inevitably that result is going to be something special. It's going to be something unique. So that's what I do in regards to my production for artists I work with outside of Sakura and with myself. I tailor every single sound, and I'll go in there. I'll do the whole. I'll sit there like Bill Nye the Science Guy. I'll be breaking down the physics of the sound, and then I'll make exactly. And when I'm working with people that are articulate, that streamlines the process. I'm like, I get what you're saying. I know it's layman terms, but I know what you're saying. I know what you're trying to explain about the behavior of the sound. Got your back.
This is true.
So I ensure that every single last element within a record is perfect, and that comes down to the hi-hats, like every single EQ setting. Everything needs to be perfect in our own personal perspective. opinion. And then that makes for, again, an unavoidably great completed final musical number or anything artistic. So it's been pretty good so far. So I don't intend to change the tactic or the methods, but I would like to expand them.
So where do we get the single, or where do we get? Where do we get?
I did anything but answer your question. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
So single is available on all platforms worldwide. The whole Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, BearShare, LimeWire, if you want to pirate it. Don't. Yeah, so it's super accessible. If you type in NoxTros, NoxTros, and then the song title is With You. It's about 3 minutes and 35 seconds of auditory stimulation. So it's my hope that the reception's been good. It's my hope that people, as they continue to discover it, are really enjoying it. So,
Absolutely.
So tonight, any recommendations for folks to take in the show?
I'm sorry, the question again?
For tonight for the show, should people have a drink? Is there a way they should get ready for the show? Just chill out?
120%. I'd leave that up to the person. Obviously, I don't want to encourage chemical consumption, but I also want to encourage chemical consumption. I would just say this. Just come ready to be welcomed with open arms, because that's what we want. That's literally all we want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, it's
facts.
It's a small show with a small venue, and so we have expectations for how the show is going to go, but as we all know in life, expectations almost never go exactly the way we want, and I'm fine with that. I just want people to come and just know that whoever you are welcome, and the show is about you. It's not about us. We're just trying to facilitate moments for people, and that's it. Yeah. Period. That's all I have to say about it.
I don't know if you knew this or understood this, but did you know that you were interviewing Mahatma Gandhi over here today?
No.
No. Awesome. Totally agree with every syllable.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming in, and
thank you for having me.
Let us know when you've got some music to share, and we'll get it out
David,
there too.
I have one more question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with the collaborative,
Yep.
What is your vision for 2019? What is your personal vision?
Well, I think a lot of what we're thinking about is getting more people involved and letting the magazine become the voice of more folks in the region who want to talk about creation and getting their vision out there, and also, sort of like what you've talked about, which is getting people to work together and cross these boundaries that probably shouldn't be there to begin with. So
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to work with you guys more.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That's definitely the goal.
If I could have some just brief conclusive thoughts, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, I mean, in terms of what I solely operate right now is just in terms of social media. Instagram, mine is NoxTros, NoxTros. Myron's is channel, CHANNEL _ Sakura, SAKURA. So that's where a great deal of our content is. Some of it more candid, some of it more prepared. Instagram
is the wave.
As a cheers to, I say end on a positive note, but the whole thing's been positive. So, as a cheers and a testament to the Capital Region, I can't stress enough how, and I'll speak on all of our behalves, how proud we are to be from here and be in the epicenter of it, as this effing awesome thing is going on.
We talked about this. You can swear. It's cool.
This shit is fucking dope. 518 is fucking dope. We're proud as fuck to be from the 518. And as I say, we are very proud to have noticed and know that this area is no longer a competition. This is a cooperative.
A collaborative, if you will.
So
Katie would be very upset about that.
Katie's not here right now.
No, it's true.
What's up, Katie?
What up, Katie? Well, thanks for having us, David.
Yeah, thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
And I hope everyone enjoys, comes out tonight, and maybe we'll set up something in the future.
Sounds
with
great.
More room for people.
It'll be a beautiful thing.
We could pack a lot of people in this room. There's no doubt about that. Good.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you very much.